As a template for the modern sports car, nothing beats the Lotus Elise. It's light, economical and still as much fun as ever. Where other manufacturers spend millions on technology to drive down fuel consumption and emissions, Lotus does it in the most elegant way possible, with less weight. When it was launched back in 1996, few realised quite what a landmark sports car the Elise would become. It featured initially a 1.8 litre K-Series 4-cylinder Rover engine and had a bonded aluminium chassis. The back-to-basic approach really worked, and over the next 5 years it racked up some really respectable sales over a wide variety of different versions. An all-new Elise lineup was announced for the 2001 model year, featuring a sleeker look and changes to the engine and suspension. With the implosion of the MG Rover Group, Lotus lost its supply of K-Series engines, but was well placed with a long-standing business relationship with Toyota. The current Elise lineup is exclusively powered by Toyota engines and makes as much sense now, maybe more, than it did back in 1996. This car's brilliant vehicle dynamics come courtesy of some of the best chassis engineers in the business. Low mass spells fantastic agility. The last nuances of suspension caster, toe, camber, tyre sidewall stiffness, they've all been agonised over so that you don't have to. You'll appreciate the way the steering never feels heavy, but always gives you exact, precise feedback of exactly what the front tyre contact patch is doing. Performance, of course, depends on quite how much horsepower is being generated. Even the entry-level 134 brake horsepower Elise S gets to 60 in just 5.8 seconds, on the way to a top speed of 128 miles an hour. The 189 brake horsepower Elise R is quicker still. At the top of the range, 4.4 seconds is all that it will take the supercharged Elise SC to get to 60. And you'll be ticking through 100 miles an hour in probably just under 10.5 seconds. Lotus enjoys an efficient feedback loop with its owners, and now that the Elise has been in serious production for some time, many of the teething issues that afflicted earlier examples of the range have been well and truly ironed out. One thing's for sure, if you can't rely on a Toyota engine, you can't rely on anything in the automotive world. Metronomic reliability is a given as far as the Japanese firm is concerned, and the 1.8 litre VVTi engine is in a relatively modest state of tune, which should help prolong its already enviable durability. The bonded chassis is still a thing of beauty, albeit more concealed by panelling and these carpets than was the case in earlier versions. So is that exterior bodywork, a look that's wearing well given that it's been with us since 2001. Space and versatility inside aren't really keywords you'd associate with Elise ownership, but at least the latest models have a little more oddment stowage thanks to this US federalised dashboard. Prices start at about £25,000 for the entry-level Elise S, but you'll need around £32,000 for the supercharged SC model that I'm trying here. Look at the Lotus price lists and you'll be bamboozled by all kinds of packs you can get for the Elise. Now these tend to change in rather rapid order, but to all intents and purposes there are 3 Elise models, the entry-level S, the mid-range R and the top-of-the-range SC. There's no doubt that Lotus founder Colin Chapman was onto something with his performance through lightweight philosophy. It's been a cornerstone of Lotus's success throughout the years, but in the light of the current motor industry imperative for improved fuel economy and lower emissions, it looks positively visionary. That low economy and improved emissions come courtesy of a light 860 kilogram weight. By contrast, a modern Mazda MX-5 tips the scales at nearly 1100 kilograms. Chapman would also have endorsed the way that this car holds its value. The latest figures suggest that after 12 months or 10,000 miles, this Elise will still be worth 82% of what you paid for it. Not that we should be evaluating any Lotus in such cold, boring terms. This Elise, after all, is one of the best cars the company has ever produced. Mind you, a 34 miles to the gallon combined fuel economy figure isn't bad for a car that's quicker to 60 than a Porsche Cayman. The 196 grams per kilometre CO2 figure isn't bad either. The Elise SC that I'm driving here backs up its thrilling performance with a 31 miles per gallon showing and 200 exactly grams per kilometre of CO2. One day soon, all performance cars will be built this way. The Elise mechanicals have been proven to last, and the plastic composite bodywork is tougher than Roman Abramovich's tax return. It's not a car that's going to let you down either, with the mechanicals having been built to last sustained abuse on the racetrack. And as I've said, residual values for Elises are very buoyant. The Elise is a surprisingly easy car to take for granted, but you've only got to look at how, decade after its original launch, it's still the undisputed pick of the lightweight roadsters to gauge the scale of Lotus's achievement with this car. Now, the entry-level model is often the definitive pick in a range, and here it's no different. The Elise S, if you want a premium badge and driving excitement with low running costs, well, that's the one to go for. Of course, there will be some who can't resist the opportunity to go supercar baiting, and for them, the Elise R and this SC model perform that function brilliantly. Thing is, the ability of the Elise is no great secret, and few Porsche, Ferrari or Lamborghini owners would back their cars against an Elise, a top-line Elise on a track day. Working smarter, not harder, is a great maxim to live by. It served the Elise very well and makes it ever more relevant today. I love it. I think I always will.